Hey everybody, welcome to BTA Fridays. I am going to take the entire month of July off, but I will be back soon with new fresh episodes, but I got to have a summer. All right, I'll catch you guys soon. Welcome to BTA Fridays Breaking the Algorithm. I'm your host, Kelly Morgan. This is where indie authors stop chasing trends. We build strategy, visibility, and confidence. Around here, we don't follow the algorithm. We break it and put something better in its place. Let's get to today's episode. Hey everyone, it's Kelly. Welcome to another episode of BTA Breaking the Algorithm, where we break the algorithm and we put something better in its place. All right. In continuation of Black History Month, as someone who's always thinking about, ways to, be visible and stay visible, consistently, and ways to break the algorithm, a question formed in my mind. And I don't have any great revelations. I want to preface that, but stay with me because maybe, we can figure this out together. So my question is how much does Black culture influence the algorithm? Right? Now, if you really think about it, Black culture has always shaped what becomes mainstream. Our music, our fashion, our language, our humor, our storytelling, even the way people show up online. A lot of what we call now internet culture didn't start neutral. It started somewhere specific and then it got absorbed. No, you've seen it with like rap music. Back in the day, they said rap was a fad and that it was going to go away. Now, every commercial you see is rap. Style of dress, definitely heavily influenced by Black culture. The slang and the language that we use, Black culture, right? Words and phrases that were once clearly a part of Black culture get picked up. Then they're watered down, and then suddenly they're everywhere. And once they're everywhere, they've been treated like they've always been there. So the influence to me, that part isn't debatable. So the real question is this: if Black culture has that level of influence, how does that translate into power inside the algorithm? And honestly, y'all, I don't know that it does. At least not the way that people think. Because influence and control are not the same thing. Influence is shaping what people want, right? Control is deciding who benefits from it. Historically, Black culture has been incredibly influential while not always being protected, credited, or rewarded in the same way once it goes mainstream. So let me bring this back to indie authors and marketing, because this is where the strategy part comes in. All right. So if the algorithm responds to behavior, right? And culture shapes behavior, then the algorithm is absolutely reacting to cultural influence. But that doesn't mean that it's doing so fairly. And it doesn't mean that it's doing so without bias. So the question then becomes, how do you and I work inside of a system that benefits from our influence from a cultural standpoint, but doesn't always reward it, right? And I do not have a clean answer, but I do have some real observations, right? And so one of them are trends. Trends move fast, but ownership moves very slow, right? So if you're chasing what's hot right now, you might get visibility, but you will not necessarily get longevity. And to me, longevity outweighs visibility because I'm going to be there. I'm going to outlast whatever trend that is. Number two, recognition matters more than reach. So if 10 people who truly see your work and talk about it will do more for you long term than 1,000 people who scroll past it, right? So recognition matters more than reach. Number three, building outside the algorithm matters because platform changes, if the platform changes tomorrow, what do you have? Your readers? Do you still have them? Your relationships, your community, your work? But if you own these things, yes. If you own these things, then you still have your readers, your relationship, your community, and your work. So yes, I say that Black culture clearly influences the algorithm in terms of what is popular, right? But the influence alone doesn't guarantee protection, fairness, or sustainability. And that's why for indie authors, breaking the algorithm isn't about beating the system, right? That's not what I'm saying. And breaking the algorithm isn't a hack. It's about understanding it well enough so that you're not dependent on it, right? And so that's the real work behind breaking the algorithm. So those are the questions that I want to ask you. You know, it's really funny to me because these are the questions that I ask myself. So again, how much does Black culture really influence the algorithm? Like I said at the beginning, I had no great revelations. These are just thoughts. I thought this was a topic that was incredibly worthy of breaking the algorithm. So I say these and I show you guys in real time. I'm just trying to figure this out. And so maybe this is how we start a conversation, right? Because again, Black culture has always shaped what becomes mainstream: fashion, music, language, humor, storytelling, the way people show up online, right? All right, let me give you my laundry list of things before I let you go. All right, if you are a creative in this space, Mondays I have guests. It's called the Author's Mic. Um, you can come on, share your craft, your thoughts, whatever you got going on. The mic would be yours. Go to my website, brightheadedpublishing.com. Go to the Be a Guest tab, and you're a guest. It's truly that simple. If you are on your author journey, I have a guide. It's called So You Want to Write a Book. It's free. I turned it into a flip book, and then it's also a PDF. And it's information that I think is good information if you are on your indie author journey. It's information that I wish would have been available to me. So I tried to put all this together in a free guide and just give it to whoever needs it. It's free. Go get it. If you're interested in supporting me, I have two books. Wait for It is an audiobook as well as print. I sell the print. And then You Sound White is just print. I sell them both myself from my website. I'm happy to sign them. I've got some free goodies. I'll ship them at no charge, but no pressure. If you're not interested in the books, that's okay too. I just mention them because I'm an author. It's what I do. But no pressure. You can get them from me or wherever good books are sold. And then lastly, Bright-Headed Publishing, we have a book club. It's called the IRS, the Indie Reader Society. Would love to have you join us as a reader. One of my goals for 2026 is to grow this book club into a very big, robust, engaging, just supportive book club for indie authors. That is the goal behind the book club, y'all. And so I would hope that you would join us as a reader. The information is on the website. And if you're an author, an indie author, great place to pitch your book. We don't know about your book if you don't tell us. We only support indie authors. You can pitch us yourself. All the information is on the website. All right, y'all. This has been an episode of BTA Breaking the Algorithm. I will be back next Friday with another Black History Month episode. But today, again, ask yourself the question: how much does Black culture really influence the algorithm, right? And if Black culture has a level of influence, how does that translate into power inside the algorithm? All right, y'all. I'll catch you next Friday.